thing on the agenda is Rick McDowell with the ARRA Green Project.
Welcome, Rick.
Friends?
Make it through camp?
Yes. I'm a little tired still. Takes me a little longer to recover from these things. I'm trying to figure it out. We still don't have all the bills from camp, but I'll bring you a report on it next meeting. And besides the things that you've got here, I wanted to mention that on the 31st of this month, at the high school, we're doing an adolescent health fair, which will run from 12 to 3:30 for students. We'll take them out of the classroom and they'll run through there'll be different booths there on different kind of topics, and then from 4 to 7, the public will be invited. And part of the public thing will be some discussions and a focus on prescription drug problems and teenage pregnancy. So that's sort of part of the health stuff that we're doing that's going to lead to the health summit. The hope is by next meeting we'll have a date for the health summit, and we'd also have a date for the informational meeting about the federal health care legislation and what it means to folks. So we hope to get those two things a little more in stone. So
Well, if there's anything, how we can help, because we certainly support this concept and want to move along with it.
well, we have enough funds to take care of the health fair at the high school. So if we move to some of these others, there may be some refreshment costs or some things like that, but I don't anticipate it's going to be.
This thing about the education on the drugs, it just seems like it, when we look at, talk with probation people, law enforcement people, that's the problem.
Yeah.
So I think it's refreshing to know that you all are going to deal with that. If it would help any, I would, in order to get attention brought to the issue, that it would be good if, on a volunteer basis, if school people, all elected officials, volunteer to take drug tests and say, I'm drug free. Let's keep this county drug free. Might just be some way to get a kickstart to the issue, but it's getting so serious.
Well, the other thing we haven't figured out exactly how to do the logistics of it, but that's this drug take back. So that people, the
medicine.
thought is if people have medicine cabinets that are full of stuff, they may not even know what it is, and a lot of times that's a source of problems with teenagers and parties and guys that are on probation. So the thought is that we're trying to organize some kind of a system where we could let people in the county bring those drugs to a central point. They could clear out their medicine cabinet, we divide them into controlled substances and non-controlled, have them shipped off. But it's fairly complicated when you're dealing with controlled substances, so we have to make sure that the federal drug enforcement people are okay with how we do it. So it's even more complicated than sewage. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Well, as we move toward that, maybe
Yes, it just seems like something might happen.
Okay. The first piece of paper you've got is about the Efficient Energy and Conservation Block Grant that the Commission applied for and received. It's through Region 2. The funding for that is $200,000, and then the Commission agreed to put in another $48,300. And what that's going to do, it's going to replace all the dual duct heating and cooling vents in all the rooms in the courthouse. That'll be 58 of them, so that you could control both heat and air conditioning, which you can't really do now. So I think people who have rooms in the courthouse appreciate being able to have that happen.
I will appreciate seeing all the calls.
Yeah.
I noticed it's in the paper as a legal ad.
Good. I forgot to look, but the second ad was supposed to be in this most recent. Good. And the 27th, Friday the 27th, is the mandatory pre-bid site visit, which would be here at the courthouse at 10 a.m. and that would be followed by a bid opening September 10th. And I think that Mike Webb from Region 2 is just going to handle all the logistics. So far, he's done the stuff with the newspaper. He'll be here for the pre-bid site visit. He'll be here to help us through the bid opening. So they've really stepped up to take over the leadership. So that piece of paper shows you the timeline and what the parameters are and what the budget is. And the idea is that we'd save almost $13,000 a year by making this change. We're not going to know until we do it for sure, but my hope is if we do that and we also figure out, one of the things that's not on here is trying to figure out a way so that maybe when the courthouse is closed, instead of depending on people's individual thermostats, there could be sort of a master kind of thing that would cut the heat down in the winter to
We've got
64
that.
degrees.
We've got that now, Rick, but it takes so long for this building to warm up in the morning. And we tried it when we first installed this system, and people were coming in literally freezing. I think Jennifer and Lisbeth, I know one of their offices was really bad about it.
When-
But the new system may be more effective. and
Sure,
efficient.
might work quicker, and if you really had a heating duct in every room, a cooling duct in every room, it might be possible to make that work. So, we'll let you know how that goes. There's an update on our green project. A couple things have happened since the last commission meeting. We've got a community group that's trying to work on this long-term maintenance. They're continuing to meet. They met in July, and when we had our Left Fork meeting, August 16th, the maintenance committee presented some bylaws. It was the fourth draft, and those are attached at the end of your report. The community approved the bylaws. I didn't know whether the commission wanted to approve them too, or what. We weren't exactly sure about how to move on this. It would be, if we end up with a community organization, the next thing the organization's going to do is they're going to go to the Secretary of State, make a formal application, and then we would move toward getting a 501c3 nonprofit tax status.
Well, I
They're
think-
not doing it in any way under the commission's umbrella, but I wasn't sure, since the commission sort of has been spearheading all this, how we ought to move forward.
You know, the last thing a community group would want is somebody like the county commission trying to tell them what they need to do.
That's probably quite true.
But in heart, I'm sure we approve of whatever that's going to be a good thing for that community.
Well, we'll just keep you
You don't
up.
want to meddle in it for sure.
We'll keep you up to date on what's happening with the maintenance stuff. The next time we meet, we're going to try to finalize the contract for the homeowners. And the idea is that if you wanted to be part of this organization, you would formally sign a contract with the organization that would set all this stuff out about how much payment it would be, and timelines, when something was done to your system, those kind of logistics. We'll also share that with you. And I've been really happy and impressed with the dedication of the 4 or 5 people who